case you're new, because the channel grew a little bit ever since posting that video where I was in a haunted Airbnb. But yeah, you can check that out. Also, don't forget the Hey Happiness. My code is still valid until the end of November, but if you want to get a free gift, you should order soon. This cute, pretty jewelry that I am wearing. I will link the information about that down in the description box. So yeah, if you want to order and you want to get a free gift or 2 free gifts or 3, you should do that until tomorrow, because then after that you can still use my code, but you won't get a free gift. And who doesn't like free gifts? I do. So let's get into the first story. I will not say anybody's name or anything like that, just because, you know, I told you guys it was going to be anonymous. So, someone sent in the story, so this actually happened. Sit back, relax, and listen to the creepy story. Okay, cupped whispering. Okay, between 2008 and 2010, I was in middle school. Oh wow, that's a little while ago. I wonder, like, was I in middle school? I might have been in middle school. Yeah, I might have also been in middle school by then. In a super small town in West Texas, about 600 max population. Wow, that's like, I feel like a lot of creepy stuff happens in the South. A new kid was in my class. Let's call him David. He had 4 other siblings and a stepmom and dad. I befriended him. We would hang out and talk all the time during school, but during that time his mom was a lack of better terms, weird, or possibly strange to the rest of the family, but there was a reason why. It's already getting good. I kind of wish I would have made myself like a drink, but I had guess the question is, was it a supernatural thing, or was it just like a person, you know, like was it a homeless person just like living in that house, and or was it like supernatural? And I'm guessing you said that the mom was kind of weird and that there was a reason. I'm guessing the reason for the mom being weird is that she was paranoid, right? Because of the walls. Was that the reason? Or did she have anything else going on? Maybe it was her. Plot twist, it was her and she was just like sleepwalking. Yeah, like it could have been like a homeless person, or it could have been something supernatural. Definitely let me know in the comments what you think was in those walls. Have you guys had similar experiences? Let me know. And let's get to the next story. Okay, so a few years ago when I was in college, some friends and I decided we wanted to go check out a creepy house we'd heard about from another friend. This was over the summer, and my friends and I were working for the university. The school was out in the middle of the countryside, but the house was about a half hour drive further into the middle of nowhere here in the Appalachian Mountains of the US. I actually don't know where that is. Is that in the Midwest? Oh well, I'll look it up. I'll look it up after the video where exactly that is. Okay, so it was like a half-hour drive, and it was in the middle of nowhere. That's always good, right? The house is in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so we had decided on a night we were going to check this place out, and since the friend that had initially told us about the house only gave us a pin on Google Maps, we didn't know exactly where the house was located. So that afternoon, a friend and I went to scope out the place and see if we could pin down exactly where the house was. So eventually we found the house after about 20 minutes of searching and left, planning to come back around sunset. Okay, this was where the creepiness starts. Why did you guys want to go at night? That's what I'm wondering. Why is it only creepy at night? Why is it only haunted at night? Because I think to make it more legit, you should actually go during the day, because I feel like at night everything seems kind of scary. But I guess for the creepiness sake, I understand. This is where the creepiness starts. The house, or rather the barn, as we didn't actually find the house at that point, was located on the property of a large monastery immediately next to a graveyard. Oh my god. I can't get any more scary. That is really scary. Okay, immediately after, next to a graveyard that had no headstones and was full of fresh graves. Fresh graves, that's crazy. However, we didn't know this at the time, but we were driving onto the monastery property. A monk with the biggest crucifix held it up towards us when we waved at him as we drove by. Not immediately creepy, but we were a little one of you that was more into the idea of checking it out than the other people. Okay. Where was I? All the windows were shattered, leaving the house completely open. There were no doors either. We had to stoop under a low hanging branch to walk through the door into the house. I was the first person to set foot in the house, and as I did, there was a huge crash sounding, almost like someone had picked up a piece of wood and thrown it against the wall. I was obviously surprised and jumped back and asked if anyone else had heard it, which they did. This didn't stop us though, and we walked into the house, shining our lights around and not being particularly quiet. Eventually, we finished the first floor of the house and we wanted to go up the second floor, and had met in a sort of living room where there was a small staircase in the corner. My friend was leading the way up to the stairs when suddenly stopped and said, "Did you all hear that?" My buddy and I had been joking around behind her but stopped. This is when we heard coming from the darkness upstairs, the lowest and faintest growl ever. At that point, almost as one mind, we looked at each other, turned around and ran out of the house, all the way back to the car, jumped in and sped up the road. As we drove through the graveyard next to the house to get back to the main road, we noticed a fox sitting on a fresh grave, staring at us in the headlights right as we were about to pass. It floated across. Wait, what? Okay. We noticed a fox sitting on a fresh grave, staring at us in the headlights right as we were about to pass. It floated across the road right in front of my car and stared at us as it passed in front of my lights. As it looked at us, we all noticed that it had no eyes, but rather two bits where its eyes would normally be. At this point, we floored it and sped into the main road as the fox climbed a tree and watched us leave. Oh my god, that is so creepy. I've been back to the house since and always get a very creepy feeling when I'm there. I swear all of this is the truth. There are 3 other people who were there and can attest. Okay. No, this isn't too long. That was great, because this person was like, oh, that's not too long. No, that was great. That is super creepy, so I wonder if the growl came from the fox. Did you ever figure out, like, as you said, you were back in the house since, like, did you ever investigate what was going on? Did you ever, like, investigate where the growl was coming from? Why did you even go back? I feel like that would have been interesting. Maybe in the next video I could film another video like that if you guys want. I mean, I'm mainly doing this because it's like spooky season, but if you guys want, I could yeah, film another video like this outside of spooky season, you know, just like cozy season, I guess. But yeah, I'm wondering, why did you go back? Did you investigate? Did you ever see the fox again? Or that monk? Like, maybe you guys could have asked that monk what's going on, you know what I mean? Interesting story, but I have so many